Hello and welcome. Today we'll be practicing hope. There's a quote from Desmond Tutu that describes hope for me. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. Hope comes in when things aren't going well, when we're worried and caught up in our fears. I like to think of hope as a life preserver or even a branch or a helping hand to help me get out of the downward spirals of fear and negativity. Hope sustains us and motivates us to tap into our own capabilities and inventiveness to turn things around. We're wiring in that ability to self regulate, to get ourselves out of stress or fear, to feel hope when we need it most. We're going to do a meditation and tapping practice today. So, first, we'll drop into a short meditation, just taking a moment to get comfortable. Noticing if anywhere feels a little tight. Seeing if you want to change your position. Remembering you can sit cross-legged or with your feet on the ground. You can lie down on the couch. Grab some pillows or blankets, finding a posture that feels good for you. And when you feel ready, you can close your eyes or just gaze down, helping to minimize distractions from the outside world. Knowing you're always welcome to tune me out, focus on your breath or even your favorite snack. And don't stress at all if you need to shift or open your eyes during the meditation. This is your time, so when in doubt, please know you can trust yourself. I'm just here to offer you options. So let's take a few deep breaths together. I invite you to turn your attention inward, just noticing what you notice. If while you're meditating you hear cars or sirens or any other noises, remembering you're always welcome to open your eyes and just come back. So beginning by directing your attention to your five senses. Even with your eyes closed or gazing down, noticing what you can smell or hear, see or touch. Just getting accustomed to the sounds in and around this space. The sensation of being right here. And you can imagine you have an internal gauge for your emotions from 1 to 10, with 1 feeling totally hopeless and 10 feeling completely filled with hope, full of hope, reassured. Just noticing where you are on this gauge from 1 to 10. You might feel like you're bouncing or sliding between different numbers. No need to judge your number, you can just observe it. If you're unsure of what that number is, perhaps notice how your breath feels in your body, how your muscles feel, even how your heart feels. Compassionately listening to what your body might be telling you about how you're feeling. Perhaps listening with the attentive care you would to a loved one or a young child. Once you've got a number in mind, you can slowly open your eyes or bring your gaze back up. Now that you have this number in mind, we're going to do some tapping. We're going to use tapping to tap into more hope today. If you haven't heard of tapping before, you can think of it as acupressure for the emotions. We also have an intro video, so you can always hit pause and come back if you want a little more direction before we get started. During class, we'll be tapping on acupoints while we give voice to our emotions. We might voice some negative feels, but we're never tapping in negative affirmations because we're sending the calming signal through the body. As we voice, we're reducing their charge, like rocking a child while they share their feelings. Please know you can always change the words if anything is triggering or hurtful. Sometimes it may feel like my words match your feelings exactly, and other times not so much. Take what works for you, leave the rest, because the words really are secondary. I could be saying blah, blah, blah. It's the calming signal and the attunement that help tapping work. So as we start to tap, you'll follow along with the tapping points and repeat the statements that I say. Remembering the words I say really are secondary. I could be saying anything. So for the first point, you bring your hands together and turn one hand. I have a broken finger right now, so you can use this finger. I just can't. Please know if anything feels uncomfortable or painful in your body, you can skip that point or tap on one that feels more comfortable for you. So from this, you're going to repeat after me. Even though I get caught up in worrying and doubt. Perhaps there's a part of me that knows how to spark a little hope. Even when the news around the world sends me down a negativity spiral, maybe I just need a few handy tools. To reassure me, to help me find a little possibility, a little maybe. Maybe I can find something hopeful in my day. Especially when my brain just keeps getting caught worrying, sucked in by all the negativity. Maybe all I need is a little maybe. Maybe I can give myself a branch to grab onto so I don't get swept away or sucked down in feeling hopeless. Okay, you're going to do inside edges of the eyebrow. Repeating after me. It's so much easier to notice everything that's wrong in my life. Side of the eyes. It's so much easier to notice everything that hurts in my body. Under the eyes, on the bone. It's so easy to pay attention to what I can't do. Under the nose. It's so easy to pay attention to everything I think is wrong with me and my body. In the crease of the chin. It's so easy to get caught up in the dis-ease. Collarbone point. So you're going to go down about an inch and out about an inch. Feel free to tap around and find a spot that you want to go on. It's so easy to get caught up in everything that can go wrong. Side of the body. It's easier to think nothing I do can make a difference. Front of the body on that same horizontal. It's easier to think nothing I do can make a difference. You're going to tap the wrists together, especially when it all feels so overwhelming and like I'm stuck in the mud. Top of the head, you can make a little circle, especially when it's hard to know what to do next. Maybe this can be way easier than I thought. Maybe hope really is as simple as a little maybe. Maybe it could even feel good for me to practice hope. After all the time I spend focused on all of the what's wrong with me, maybe I can change my focus. Maybe instead of just seeing what's wrong today, what if I could focus on something beautiful instead? Maybe it doesn't even have to be hard. Maybe it just starts with a little maybe. Maybe I can balance out all the hopelessness with a little spark of awe. Maybe that little spark feels like joy. Maybe it really is better for my health and my body. Maybe feeling hope will make the world look a little more friendly. Maybe this little spark of hope will even help me see more friendly faces throughout my day. Maybe I really can choose to feel hopeful about today. Maybe that doesn't mean I'm burying my head in the sand. Maybe that doesn't mean I'm not paying attention or I don't care. Maybe I actually get to choose where my attention goes. Maybe I really can choose. I give myself permission to focus on one thing I can feel hopeful about right now. I give myself permission to feel good even about myself right now. I give myself permission to notice what's good right now in this moment. And you can shake it out. We're going to check back in with a little meditation to inner gauge. If it feels safe, you can close your eyes, knowing you can always just gaze down, turning your attention inward. checking back in with our inner gauge. That 1 to 10 scale, feeling hopeless to full of hope. We're just noticing where you are on this gauge from 1 to 10. You can decide what setting you would like to be at when you finish today. Maybe even try it on. Notice what feels different than your current setting. Or if you're at that setting already, just savor it. You might want to imagine bringing in a little support to help you feel more hope. A source of support. You receive exactly what you need. Let yourself imagine receiving what you need from that source of support until you feel filled up with enough hope that you're at your ideal setting. And if you're higher on the scale, perhaps notice if your hope is tipping into another emotion, like joy or awe or play. Just noticing how it feels. Perhaps finding 3 anchors for how your desired setting feels, so you can reset the setting on your own. An example is my head is lifted, my muscle feels relaxed, my spine feels long and strong. Yours can be anything you want, whatever works for you. You can try some different things on too. Once you've got that ideal setting and you've tried it on, let yourself settle back to where you are right now. And you can start to gently bring your attention back to the room. Slowly opening your eyes or bringing your gaze back up. And it's totally normal if your number is at a 5 or below. You might feel a little resistance towards me or the words when we're tapping. And that's just totally normal. It feels like kind of annoying or a little crazy, but we're just voicing some possibilities, even if they don't feel available right now. So we're going to do another round. Coming back up. Maybe this can be easier than I thought. Maybe I really can choose to feel hope right now. To feel a little spark of hope grow into something bigger. To pay attention to what grows my little hope flame. It feels good to be able to zoom out and see everything good happening around me. to notice the beauty in each day, to notice friendly faces when I'm out doing errands, that I have a choice over where my attention goes and what I focus on. Maybe I can even bring in my SOS, that source of support, when I need a little extra support. I can find things to savor every day. Maybe it starts with just finding one thing to savor. What if just refocusing my attention really does help me feel more hopeful? It feels good to feel filled with hope. Feels good to feel good. I'm ready to get really good at feeling good. Even in this bumpy, messy world, especially in this bumpy, messy world. I'm ready to feel all the hope I can fill myself up with. I'm ready to really feel filled with hope. I feel filled with hope. You can shake it out. We're going to check in one more time with our inner gauge. So when you feel ready, I'll invite you to close your eyes or just gaze down, feeling free to change positions, stretch, just get more comfortable. Returning your attention inward, taking a deep breath together. Let's check back in with our inner gauge, that 1 to 10 scale. Noticing where you are on this from 1 to 10. Ranking for 1 is feeling totally hopeless, and 10 is feeling filled up with hope. And sometimes your number goes up, stays the same, or goes down. Whatever direction your number has gone, trust that tapping follows your pace. You can always continue tapping at home as needed if you want a little more. You can even just pick one point to tap on in the car or at your desk. If you're lower than you wanted to be, try not to judge it. Perhaps you can give yourself a little extra love or invite back in that source of support, that SOS, to give you a little support to get your number to where you want it to be. You can try bringing in your other senses, giving your ideal hopeful setting a smell or a taste that helps you savor the feeling. Maybe the smell of the ocean, favorite flower, a favorite meal, or anything else that invites in hope right now. Letting yourself imagine receiving exactly what you need until you feel filled up with enough hope that you're at your ideal setting. Has your spark of hope grown? Maybe it feels like a joyful hope or a playful hope. Maybe your hope wants to dance. Try to remember this feeling. So when you tap on your own, you can bring this feeling into your body again. Feeling free to try different things on at different times. And when you feel ready, you can gently bring your attention back to the room, taking your time. You can stretch or bring in some gentle movement. Just coming out of your practice today. Opening your eyes or bringing your gaze back up. Maybe blinking the eyelids open if it feels a little too bright. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you feel a little more hopeful and that you can use these tools, this practice, anytime you could use a little more hope.